Welcome to Intuitive Astrology with Molly McCord. Thank you so much for joining me today as we take a look at the astrological energies from August 7th until August 14th, where we only have 2 days of astrological energies, and the rest of the week is quiet in the cosmos. Fewer transiting aspects are unfolding over the next 7 days, and this is going to give you opportunities to catch up on what you need more energy to focus on, perhaps more time to reflect and review. There's also going to be energies that support your emotional processing and anything that's going on in your internal experience. So I'll touch on those matters a bit more in today's show, but I did want to share that we've had some big energies going on the sun. Now we are moving through solar cycle 25, which is when we historically have peak activity on the sun. There is a new giant sunspot that has emerged. It is sunspot AR3780, and it can absolutely unleash those X-class solar flares. This sunspot is turning towards the Earth right now, so we can anticipate there could be more solar flare activity and a lot more energetic transmissions from the sun. There were also 2 X-class solar flares on August 5th. Now, these were not directed at Earth, but they can be hitting our planet's magnetosphere, but it's like they skim by the Earth, and those are expected to be felt late on August 8th and August 9th. So the sun being so active right now, of course, fits in with the astrology of the sun moving through Leo, which is the sun's home sign. But as we know, we've had a lot of solar activity over the past year, and so it's simply increasing. And we are learning how to ride those waves. We're understanding how energetically sensitive we are, what can show up out of the blue, like if you just feel exhausted and you need a nap, or you feel invigorated and ready to go, like you just feel energized out of the blue. With these particular solar energies, there tends to be more of an extreme pendulum of energies. So it's like you feel on top of the world, and then you feel like you can't do a single thing. And we are being guided to moderate these energies as best we can, which isn't always the case, but to understand too that we are capable of trusting what our body needs and working with our body instead of allowing the mind or expectations or whatever it might be to override what your physical vessel needs. So note that we are becoming better navigators of these solar energies, and it also reminds us how deeply connected we are to the solar system and the cosmos, how at a cellular level we are feeling new parts of ourselves open up and collapse, similar to stars being birthed in the sky, and how it happens through chaos, and then the collapse or the energy of that star completing can be a huge drain. So I feel like we are continuing to calibrate ourselves with the cosmos, but with a higher state of consciousness and new levels of choices through our own awakening journey. I also feel that this is how the sun is ultimately gifting us through our own ascension, where you're able to shake off what you don't need, you're able to focus priorities and what's important. You understand perhaps that your energy can only do so much, and so how are you energetically designed to work with these bigger bursts of incoming neutrinos and light codes? The sun is always emitting neutrinos to us, and they hold deep intelligence and wisdom. There can be beautiful insights that arrive with neutrinos. There can be more messages that you're downloading, even at a faster rate. So notice that as well. when you wake up in the morning? Do you feel, refreshed and alive and ready to go? Or do you feel like your energy is out in all these realms and all these places, and you have to intentionally pull it back, ground it here on our planet, and come back into the present moment? The sun in Leo does connect us to our heartbeat, that reliable, consistent pulse of our own heart beating and pumping blood throughout our body and supporting our own personal electromagnetic fields and all the various systems within us. And so all those systems are feeling these energies from the sun, in addition to the other planetary influences that we're picking up on as well. So suffice to say, it can be a lot some days, and we are living life at an accelerated rate. There's a lot more that has picked up in the energy streams on our planet and in ourselves. There's a lot more that you could be picking up and feeling as well. So this is all normal as part of our ascension journey, but it can also be a lot and overwhelming at times. Now, maybe you've discovered that these bigger energies from the sun mean you need to drink more water, eat more root vegetables and grounding proteins, that you need to move your body and consciously work with your breath and ground in. Also, that you're more willing to trust the energy that is moving through, ready or not. So ultimately, I hope you feel stronger and more capable and knowing your needs, as well as taking a moment to put your hand on your heart and thank your heart, to honor that heartbeat and that pulse, to feel compassion and self-love for how you are supported during these bigger periods of time, and to remember how beautifully guided you are, even when the answer or pathway is not always evident and clear. I'm also feeling that a lot of starseeds, light workers, healers, empaths, and energy guides are being lit up with new confidence in your gifts and abilities. Like, I'm feeling that is part of an activation cycle we're moving through, that you are understanding how much your energy is needed on the planet, and that maybe you came in to not be fully understood or fully aligned until certain cycles such as this moved you into higher levels on your soul's path. Because I'm seeing this as a very fascinating paradigm shift, that now people are coming to the forefront with a sense of purpose and power that maybe you haven't felt before in this lifetime, because you are in full alignment with these universal openings. And that's what I'm seeing too. It's like as the sun bursts these energies through the cosmos, it opens us up to more of our divine gifts and saying yes to ourselves. Like, that's what I'm hearing here, is like, say yes to yourself if you're feeling a strong message, a clear decision, a powerful opportunity, whatever it might be. Now, yes, Mercury is retrograde, and so you might need time to know this version of yourself, to know these new parts of yourself without being critical, without thinking you have to hold back or only be in service to others, especially as Mercury is retrograde in Virgo. There could be something that you're, figuring out, like, where does this go? How's this going to work? Can I do this? And then as Mercury re-enters Leo, which will happen next week on August 14th, you could start to have some new visions of who you truly are as a source of light. And that isn't meant to be or sound egoic. It's more about, this is how my energy is here to express itself in this lifetime. So that's part of what we're moving through in August. Now on August 7th, we have some invigorating energy as the sun in Leo sextiles Jupiter in Gemini at 15 degrees. Now, this is quite buoyant and happy and optimistic. You could have some beautiful downloads and messages, understandings. Jupiter in Gemini is shining a light on knowledge, teaching, communication skill, something you want to express. So very powerful self-expression energy here. However, Jupiter in Gemini is ruled by Mercury retrograde. So there is a need to sit with it, write it down, maybe speak it out, take your notes, do something so you don't lose track of what is showing up for you as the Sun in Leo sextiles Jupiter in Gemini. This is designed to give you new faith, new trust. It's meant to lift you up out of something. It's meant to reveal more of the adventure or opportunities that await. And so there could be some expansive opportunities that you're dreaming of. Jupiter in Gemini wants us to look at the bigger picture. And in Gemini, then we bring it back to the nitty-gritty details of what's needed, what do you have to understand first, where is more education required, and even not letting the mind take over. Because that Jupiter in Gemini can easily go off into all the mental realms, but the Sun in Leo wants you to stay in that inspired action of how to create it with the inspirations of Gemini. So again, August 7th, a great day for really grounding in any downloads, messages, communications that are coming through that are grabbing your attention. So it's happening at 15 degrees. So 15 degrees of the fire signs, which would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and 15 degrees of the air signs, which are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You would be feeling this energy personally, and it's also expanding you into ideas, projects, plans, and personal power that maybe you feel you've been learning. You've been in this classroom around certain themes and self-understandings, but there's a clicking energy here where it comes together, and there could be some aha moments. Also on the same day, August 7th, Mercury retrograde is conjunct Venus in Virgo at 3 degrees. And this conjunction is also one of internal reflection, looking at the hows and the process, evaluating a decision and a choice. And the Venus energy wants to provide support. She offers a helping hand. She might drop something off that is a gift. And there's a form of mutual cooperation here, as Mercury retrograde is conjunct Venus in Virgo at 3 degrees. And you would feel this energy more personally if you have planets or points at 3 degrees of the earth signs, which are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So August 7th is a day of 2 astrology transits that might feel energetically big, but we need to sit with it. To sit with what we're feeling and what's coming through, and to not act or speak too quickly. Then we don't have any main transiting aspects between the planets until August 14th. So a week later, on August 14th, we're going to see Mars conjunct Jupiter in Gemini at 16 degrees, and then Mercury retrograde will re-enter Leo on the same day. So we have big Gemini and Mercury retrograde energy on August 14th. This can bring about big communications. This could show up as putting into action what that Jupiter in Gemini has been envisioning and planning. There can be a release of what's been pent up or not communicated adequately. August 14th can also be a day to revisit what was an original source of inspiration, an original opinion, story, or narrative. And as Mercury re-enters Leo, there is a rewriting or reconsidering what has already been stated so that you can return to the heart of an issue. Mercury re-entering Leo can stir up, what you've been sitting with that has felt restrained. Maybe that is impatience, frustration, or anger. Maybe it's a lack of motivation, not knowing what to do, feeling stalled out. Maybe you've been overthinking things as Mercury has been in Virgo, and now Mercury re-entering Leo is asking you to go back to what was that original desire. What's the driving need? What are you wanting? What are you looking for? And to connect it to not only a place of power, but make sure it's connected to the heart. Because when it's not connected to the heart in Leo, that's where the energy can be too big, too egotistical, too self-focused, without awareness of the ripple effects or collective perceptions. So on this day, August 14th, there can be some loud statements, some big words, big talk, even some grand statements that might not be the full story or the full truth. So keep in mind that there could be a lot of communications on August 14th, a lot happening, a lot going on in your inbox or through text messages, a lot that's stirred up because as Mercury retrogrades back into Leo, the fire sign, well, Mars is a trigger and Mars is a catalyst coming up to spark that Jupiter and Gemini energy. And that's happening at 16 degrees. So know that new revelations, hidden facts, outbursts, loud and proud declarations could be dominating the headlines or an area of your personal life. But maybe there are things that need to be said and need to be put out there. The guidance is to be responsible, to choose your words wisely, to be aware of the story you're saying or the narrative you're communicating. But also in Gemini, the wiser Gemini energy knows it's important to ask questions. Ask questions, get detailed information, talk it through to understand what is important and what's not. So there could be an invitation here into better conversations, more discovery, and a fuller understanding of what's been going on that maybe you weren't aware of, but now that Mars activates it and brings it out. So August 14th is also a big day this week. So August 7th and August 14th are the only 2 days of astrological transiting aspects between the planets. And that means in between, we're going to feel more connected to the lunar energy, as the moon is going to make aspects to the planets and basically feel like it's more alive. So the moon is going to move through Virgo to Sagittarius, August 7th to August 14th. And this is where we are doing more emotional processing. We are tapping into the flows of life that we're experiencing and moving through. When the lunar energies are stronger, we are invited into our internal world to get to the heart of what we're feeling without pushing it away or ignoring it. Also with the sense of everything ebbs and flows. And that is one of the key pieces of the lunar energy. It's meant to move through you. It's meant to wash through you and allow you to gain from it. I also feel the lunar energies can help us soften into ourselves, which might be right on time with these bigger Gemini and Leo energies in the mix. There could be an opportunity to just listen to yourself even more. Listen to what you're really feeling without being distracted by what's going on all around you. So when the lunar energies show up as being more influential across multiple days, really, so this will be especially August 8th to August 13th, tune in to those whispers from your soul. Really listen to that soft guidance that wants you to understand, to receive, and to possibly sit with something. You could feel like the moon is supporting you through a cycle or through part of your journey. You could feel that the moon being more prominent as the other planets are quieter is offering you up opportunities to grow and develop your intuition, to trust the visions you're seeing, to connect with more of your soul's frequency outside of the physical realm, and to know more about your internal needs and self. So the moon can be quieter energy, as I mentioned, and that's possibly where you get the gifts of insight. Now, the moon can also be quite subjective. So there's going to need to be some strengthening in boundaries around how you step back from taking anything too personally, from over emoting or overdoing it emotionally by being only caught up in your own internal needs and world. Meaning the moon is an invitation into what you're ready to feel and hear, but don't lose track of the bigger picture or more objective understandings. Now, the moon is building up to a powerful, dynamic Aquarius full moon at 27 degrees of Aquarius. So this is where the moon is heading next, where the moon becomes electrified, shocked, liberated, and awakened on August 19th. And there is a lot more coming through that changes the game. It's a very dynamic, eye-opening energy. So enjoy the quiet and the peace as it arrives, if it arrives. Of course, I'm speaking generally, and I know that isn't the case for everyone. I mean, you might feel like you can't slow down. You can't just let go. You have to still live life at a certain pace. But don't be surprised if over this week you get some really beautiful, clear messages that you've been waiting on or waiting for, and that those lunar energies are just coming through clearer and louder right now. And so there it is. That is our week. And it's actually the perfect time to recalibrate yourself, ground, steady, and stabilize your energy as we move into the second half of August, where we're going to have some increases in our choices, options, opportunities, with the mutable T-square that is forming. I have a video for you on YouTube discussing that, as we're going to have Mars conjunct Jupiter in Gemini, square Saturn retrograde in Pisces, and then we have Venus and Virgo enter the conversation. So this energy starts to pick up August 14th and continues through August 19th. So please check out my video on YouTube explaining the chart of what I'm calling this mutable mayhem. And then you'll also see the chart for the Aquarius full moon coming up shortly on my YouTube channel, which will walk you through how this energy is electrifying and designed to evolve us deeply. If your birthday is in August, please be sure to check out my program called How to Read Your Solar Return Chart, where I also specifically touch on what it means to have Mercury retrograde in your solar return chart, because this can be a beneficial way to work with the energy. It does depend on where this Mercury retrograde is in your solar return chart, of course. And it's a very different energy if Mercury retrograde is in Leo or in Virgo for that solar return celebration. Now, essentially, Mercury retrograde occurring on your birthday means it's a year of catching up, of knowing that anything you start might require retrograde wisdom, but to give yourself a bit of a break in the solar return cycle as you revisit and reconsider areas of your life that are working for you or not. So again, I discuss it more in the solar return chart program. It is 50% off with coupon code BIRTHDAY. And I hope it supports you in approaching the year ahead with wisdom, understanding, and opportunities for what the 12-month cycle holds for you. And I'll put that link below this podcast. I'll be back every Monday and Wednesday with a new podcast episode. Thank you so much for joining me. You can also find all of my latest offerings and courses over at mollymccore.online. And be sure to sign up for my weekly email newsletter where I send you updates on the energies and what we're moving through right now on planet Earth. Wishing you a beautiful week ahead. May you connect with the best possible messages that you need right now. And may you also soften into yourself and what supports your energy best during these rather extreme cycles we've been moving through. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you back here soon. Take good care.